So, it has come to this. The finale of why I hate the Loud House. I never thought I would get this far, and I never thought I would get the praise I got now. When I made the first part, I wanted it to be as big and ambitious as possible. I didn't want it to be like your average popular thing sucks video, where I give barely any valid reasons as to why the thing I'm hating on is bad. No. I wanted this to be a big series that showcased every single fucking flaw that this show has. Some of these points are so valid that I'm sure even Loud House fans would agree with me on them. But I can't keep doing this. Every time I keep doing this, it gets slightly more stressful. The stress wasn't there in the first 3 parts, but when I started work on part 4, it felt unnaturally stressful. In fact, part 4 might be the most stressful part I had to make. At the end of part 5, I said that I would take a small break. That break can go fuck itself. I'm getting this godforsaken series out of the way. I want to move on. I want to be known for various things, but hating this show is not one of those things. I sincerely don't know how anyone can think that such a horribly flawed show can save Nickelodeon. Answer this. If Nickelodeon is getting better, why is there no fucking variety in its schedule? I don't get it. Everyone made a big deal when Cartoon Network only aired Teen Titans Go and nothing else in 2017. Yet they don't mind it when Nickelodeon does the same thing with SpongeBob and the Loud House. One of which very much doesn't deserve to have the attention it has. Meanwhile, this thing is just killing off shows that never got the fucking chance they deserve. Like Harvey Beats and Welcome to the Wayne. I can't wait to see everyone ignore Glitched Text, aka the true show that will save Nickelodeon, when it comes out. I bet you a lot of fucking idiots will also ignore it because the person that created Glitched Text also created Fanboy and Chum Chum. Because according to the cartoon community, a cartoon with the most boring and generic plot ever, that's created by a person that possibly ruined the lives of multiple women, is more interesting than a show that has that legitimate Nicktoon quality to it, with a fresh and unique plot, that's created by a person that made a bad cartoon. Which means we should all ignore it. Remember people, Fanboy and Chum Chum is worse than sexually harassing women for over a decade, and that's how the cartoon community rolls. For fuck's sake, you know what? That's it. I'm going to say something that's going to get me a lot of hate. But at this point, I don't care. I'm not scared anymore. I used to be somewhat scared when I uploaded part 1. But after seeing the very positive reception it got, I lost my fear. Every part I made since then got positive reception. Even the Why I Like Johnny test video has rather positive reception, despite not being as well known as this series. So I really doubt that this will get me any hate, and if it does, let it be known that I don't care. I don't care if this gets me a lot of hate. I don't care if I become the most hated cartoon YouTuber for saying this. I don't care if I get a lot of death threats and whatever for this. I don't even care if I lose subscribers for saying this. It's not going to make me change my mind. I'm going to say it. Here it goes. Teen Titans Go doesn't piss me off as much as the Loud House. There, I said it. Give me all of your fucking hate. Actually, before you do so, please acknowledge that this doesn't mean I like Teen Titans Go. It's still a bad show, but in comparison to the Loud House, it doesn't piss me off anywhere near as much. I don't care if Teen Titans Go insults a beloved cartoon, or if it has bad morals, or if it has mean-spirited characters or any of that bull crap. I still won't consider it worse than the Loud House. Teen Titans Go, to me, is just a meh show. The show is meh, the movie is meh, the 3 episodes that everyone make a big deal about are, well, fucking shit. I'm not even gonna try defending them. But I'm not going to say that I hate Teen Titans Go more than the Loud House just because 3 bad episodes that I could just, I don't know, ignore and not watch exist. And the sad truth is, if the Loud House had any of the flaws that Teen Titans Go has, everyone in the cartoon community would be okay with it, because it's the Loud House that has it. Don't even bother defending yourself by saying, "Oh no, Zerex, you're overreacting. If the Loud House had any of Teen Titans Go's flaws, we would criticize it." No, you fucking wouldn't. You would be okay with it simply because it's from the Loud House. Hell, both shows do share a couple flaws. For example, as I brought up all the way back in part 1, Both shows suffer from incredibly unfunny toilet humor. I still don't have a fucking clue as to why people are okay with the Loud House having toilet humor, but they're not okay with Teen Titans Go, or Sanjay and Craig, or Breadwinners, or Fanboy and Chum Chum, or any cartoon that's criticized for having toilet humor, having it. And don't bring up that Mr. Enter bullshit, where if a cartoon occasionally does toilet humor, it's okay, but if it spams it, it's not okay. Fuck that logic. First of all, the Loud House does toilet humor a lot, and second of all, why does it fucking matter how much toilet humor it uses? Because it'll be unfunny either way. In contrast, if Teen Titans Go had any of the flaws that the Loud House has, dear lord, the hate it would get. If the creators of Teen Titans Go were called out for being sexual harassers, just like Chris Savino, everyone, and I mean everyone, would treat them like they're the worst people alive. Speaking of which, why didn't people make a big deal about the Chris Savino fiasco? When the news broke out, everyone talked about it, and then after a while, everyone moved on from it, almost like it never even happened. This is big news. I expected a couple YouTubers to boycott the show, but there was nothing. Everyone was completely normal with it. In comparison, everyone was constantly making a big deal about the Butch Hartman controversy like it was a massive tragedy or something. I didn't see anyone say anything positive about the Fairly Odd Parents or Danny Phantom during that period of time, which is in some regards a boycott. And yet, nobody boycotted the Loud House when the Chris Savino incident happened. Oh yeah, that's totally not hypocritical at all. And I swear to God, if you bring up the 2003 series, I will fucking riot. I've never watched the 2003 series, I'll admit it, but I really doubt that it would change my mind. I could be the most die-hard fan of the 2003 series in existence, and I would still look at Go, and it still wouldn't piss me off as much as the Loud House. You have to admit, whether you hate the show or not, it gets fucking old seeing the same Teen Titans Go is bad video again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Jesus Christ, we get it. And these videos always regurgitate the same dog shit we've heard a million times before. It gets old. It gets really old. Move on from it already. So what if Go is different from the 2003 series? That's the point of a spin-off. It's supposed to be different from the original show. If Teen Titans Go was all deep and shit just like the 2003 series, it would be the same fucking cartoon. There would be nothing spin-off about it. And if you want to bitch about the unfunny toilet humor, or the unoriginal characters, just remember, the show that you consider Nickelodeon's savior also has those flaws. And in the case of the unoriginal characters, I would argue that it's worse for the Loud House than it is for Teen Titans Go. Because Teen Titans Go only has 5 stereotypical characters, while the Loud House has 11 stereotypical characters. And yet, nobody complains when the Loud House has it, but they complain when Teen Titans Go has it. Give me a fucking break. Moving on. So, I want to bring up a very big thing, being SpongeBob SquarePants. The reason why I'm bringing this show up is because of the fact that, right now, the Loud House is the second most popular Nicktoon behind SpongeBob. Some people want the Loud House to become the next big show for Nickelodeon. I've seen various Loud House fans say that this show will dethrone SpongeBob as Nickelodeon's big show. All I can say is, how? Just how? How could anyone think something like the Loud House can dethrone a long-running, iconic, and memorable cartoon so quickly when the Loud House isn't even 5 fucking years old? SpongeBob is loved for a reason, because it is memorable. The Loud House isn't memorable. Seriously, name a Loud House moment that's just as memorable as SpongeBob and Patrick using their imagination in Idiot Box. Name a Loud House moment that's just as memorable as SpongeBob and Squidward working the night shift at the Krusty Krab in Graveyard Shift. Name a Loud House moment that's just as memorable as SpongeBob and Patrick going around selling chocolate bars in Chocolate with Nuts. Name a Loud House moment that's just as memorable as the fucking Sweet Victory performance from Band Peaks. You can't. The Loud House has no memorable moments. Absolutely none. Literally every critically acclaimed cartoon is critically acclaimed for multiple reasons. One of them being that they are memorable. SpongeBob SquarePants is memorable. The Simpsons is memorable. Tom and Jerry is memorable. South Park is memorable. The Fairly Odd Parents is memorable. Gravity Falls is memorable. BoJack Horseman is memorable. Rick and Morty is memorable. Family Guy is memorable. And I don't care about the reputation it has now. That doesn't change the fact that when it was good, it was also memorable. Invader Zim is memorable. Avatar The Last Airbender is memorable. Ed, Edd and Eddy is memorable. The Loud House is not memorable at all. In fact, I guarantee you that when it gets cancelled or it ends, absolutely everyone in the cartoon community will forget about it, almost as if it never even existed. It's that unmemorable. SpongeBob is better than the Loud House. Fact. Not opinion. Fact. I dare any of you to tell me one thing the Loud House has that's better than SpongeBob. Seasons 6 through 8 are better than the Loud House. Seasons 6 through 8 aren't even as bad as people make them out to be. Everyone only focused on the 5 bad episodes those seasons had, and completely ignored the good episodes. Yes, I get it. A Pal for Gary and One Course Meal were bad episodes, but they're not the only episodes those seasons have, are they? No. SpongeBob deserves every bit of praise that it gets. When Steven Hillenburg died, that really fucked me up badly. To think that someone who had made the childhoods of many people so great is now gone, is just fucking sad. The Loud House doesn't have the same nostalgia value that SpongeBob has. It could have had it, if it weren't for the modern day dog shit that they decide to reference. Seriously, do you think anyone would still be dabbing or taking selfies in around 5 years? No. SpongeBob is timeless. It doesn't reference modern shit like the Loud House, and even though it has done it occasionally, it doesn't do it as much as the Loud House does. I feel that, if the Loud House became the next big show for Nickelodeon replacing SpongeBob, that would just be insanely disrespectful to Steven Hillenburg. The poor guy's already been through enough disrespect. First, we had YouTube Rewind 2018, which didn't even include a tribute to him. Although, to be fair, YouTube Rewind 2018 was disrespectful to everyone that died in 2018, not just Steven Hillenburg. Then, we got the Super Bowl halftime show, where we didn't get Sweet Victory despite them teasing it. Instead, we get fucking sicko mode. The man already has enough disrespect. He doesn't need any more. Let him rest peacefully. I fucking cried when I found out he died. I was at school when I first heard the news. It was near the end of the day, and I was having a fairly average day. Then one of the students broke out the news, and I almost fucking lost it. I wanted to cry in front of my classmates. I sincerely wanted to just fucking break down and cry, but I didn't. I managed to hold it in for the rest of the school day and on the ride home. Then, I went into my room, and I started crying. I couldn't believe the man who made the childhoods of many people was gone. And I hope that this doesn't come off as disrespectful, but it was one of the few times I was saddened by a celebrity's death to the point of crying. Most of the time, when a celebrity dies, I would be sad, but I wouldn't cry. The only other times a celebrity's death got me to the point of crying was when Robin Williams died, and when Stefan Kyle died. And to think that there are people out there that want a show with bland characters, a generic as all hell plot, an abysmally awful fanbase that consists of clickbait YouTubers that make shitty content, a lot of lazy videos that take literally 5 minutes to make, borderline child porn, a million trash fanfictions that are all not better than the shitty episode they are based on, a segregation against every modern Nicktoon that's not the Loud House. The dumbest fucking shipping ever, as well as the most fucked up shippings ever, a horrendous crossover idea, which, by the way, I should bring up that Steven Hillenburg was against crossovers, which makes this already unlikely to happen crossover even more unlikely. A weird Elsa Gate channel that's really disturbing and has some of the most poorly made animation ever. A fucking disgusting channel that uses Rule 34 on the thumbnails of his shitty comic dubs. Among other things wrong with the fanbase. Extremely unfunny toilet humor. And most of all, a creator that has ruined the lives of various women for over a fucking decade. The show that's saving Nickelodeon? Fucking bullshit. This is what people want to be the next big show for Nickelodeon? Really? Fucking really? Good god, no. Nickelodeon isn't becoming better. If it was, it would have a lot more variety in the shows it airs, and it wouldn't have complete dog shit that no one fucking asked for. Like JoJo Siwa the cartoon. Or that recently announced show about that Ryan kid that's popular for some reason. Are you serious? It's like they didn't even learn from when they had Fred in the early 2010s. Meanwhile, other shows get barely any attention at all. It's like the cartoon community just wants Nickelodeon to die. I mean, why else would they only look at 2 shows and nothing else? They keep Cartoon Network alive by constantly talking about the multiple shows they have. They treat Steven Universe like it's the fucking Citizen Kane of cartoons, for God's sake. If they truly wanted Nickelodeon to be good again, they would look at their other shows, instead of only 2 shows. Enough is enough. This is one of the most horrifically flawed cartoons I have ever seen, and if I were to be honest, my hatred for this show would be drastically less harsh. If the cartoon community treated it like a normal Nicktoon and gave shows like Harvey Beaks or Welcome to the Wayne equal attention. But no, they treat this thing like it's straight up resurrected Nickelodeon, ignoring the many flaws it has, especially the Chris Savino incident, which barely got any attention from the cartoon community.
He harassed a couple women, but who gives a shit about that? He made the show that's saving Nickelodeon, so he's automatically the greatest human being alive. Butch Hartman on the other hand, fuck him. He's worse than Hitler. He scammed all of us with the Oasis Kickstarter, because according to us, scamming is worse than sexual harassment. Fuck Butch Hartman. But Chris Savino is great. Thank you, Chris, for making Nickelodeon good for the first time in forever after so many trash shows, in which the Loud House shares the same flaws with. Who cares if you ruined the lives of various women?
Are you fucking kidding me? This is hypocrisy at its worst. I am by no means defending the stuff Butch did, but everything that he did is not worse than sexually harassing women. Lying to your fans about a Kickstarter is not worse than sexual harassment. Joking about the suicide of someone is, well, actually, it's debatable as to whether that's worse than sexual harassment or not. Regardless, it's hypocrisy. Why are people okay with the Loud House having unfunny toilet humor, but not Teen Titans Go? Why did people call Welcome to the Wayne, and recently, Victor and Valentino quote-unquote rip-offs of Gravity Falls, but not Hilda? What does Hilda have that makes it a successor and not a rip-off? And again, as I said all the way back in part 1, wouldn't it be a good thing if Welcome to the Wayne and Victor and Valentino were both rip-offs of Gravity Falls? I don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense. First of all, unlike most other videos talking about why a beloved thing is bad, I did not make this series for attention. If I did, then I wouldn't have any constructive reasons as to why I hate this show. Also, I would make it really obvious that I don't actually hate the show and that I'm only doing this for attention and views. No, that's not what this series is like. I don't have any ill will towards those that like the show. I do not condone bullying or harassing the fans. In fact, one of my subscribers apparently hacked a Loud House fan. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, then that's fucking unacceptable. Doing something like that makes you the bad guy, not the Loud House fan. Second of all, thank you everyone for the endless support I have gotten in this series. When I made the first part, I didn't expect it to get the very positive reception it got, and I didn't expect it to get this big. The first part has over 2,000 views, and while that's not much, it's still impressive. Every part after has gotten a decent amount of views. On the first day it was released alone, part 6 got 100 views, and part 3 is very close to hitting 1,000 views. However, I can't keep this series up. I've run out of things to say regarding the Loud House. All the steam I had in part 1 is completely gone now. There's also the fact that this was an unbelievably stressful video to make. I know I said at the beginning that part 4 was the most stressful part, but that's outdated. This is the most stressful part I ever had to make. It almost got to the point where I completely scrapped production on the video, which thankfully didn't happen. I hope all of you enjoy the video despite the stress I went through making it. I will not make any more Loud House videos after this, and I will not bring up the Loud House in any future video I make. It's time to move on. With all that said, thank you for being with me on this journey. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content, and stay tuned for my future videos. I have a lot of great videos planned, but I need to take a small break because of how stressful this video was. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.